Rock history isn't just written by legends, it's littered with ghosts. Some bands were on the edge of glory, only to collapse overnight. Others burned bright, then vanished before the world even knew their names. In this video, we're diving into 10 bands that had it all lined up, only to watch it slip through their fingers. The first half will take you through the hopefuls, the almost legends, whose dreams were crushed by bad luck and industry games. But stay tuned, because the second half, that's where the stories get darker. Fame that turned toxic, record deals that killed momentum, and bands who disappeared into myth. Let's start with a dream stopped by a single tragic blow. Lion, the roar silenced by fate. For a moment, Lion had every piece of the puzzle. Doug Aldrich's blistering firepower on guitar, Kai Swan's raw, soaring vocals, and their anthem Power Love blasting through the Transformers animated movie. One week, they were in a Hollywood studio watching their music hit the big screen. The next, they were standing in a hospital room staring at their drummer in a bed with a broken neck. Could you imagine knowing the dream was over in that moment? When Mark Edwards suffered that catastrophic injury, the band's rise didn't just slow down, it stopped. One accident can shatter a dream overnight, but sometimes fate doesn't strike fast, it strangles slow. Wrathchild, see you in court. Wrathchild stormed out of Worcestershire in 1980, built for the world's biggest stages. Their debut, Stack Attack, wasn't just glam. It was a cartoon explosion of blood, leather, and hooks. Fans were hungry. The takeover felt inevitable. Then their label tied them up in a legal stranglehold. 4 long years passed before their next record. By then, trends had shifted and the world had moved on. Do you think they could have made it if the album dropped sooner? For Wrathchild, the courtroom proved more lethal than the stage. Malice, a license to disappear. Los Angeles band Malice had all the firepower, twin guitar assault, James Neal's Banshee Wail, and a deal with Atlantic Records. Their album, License to Kill, was polished for stadiums. Critics raved, the machine was in motion, and yet the spark didn't catch. Sales flopped, budgets froze, and the machine stopped cold. Malice had the deal, but no second chance. If Malice had the machine, Odin had the crowds, but fame on the Sunset Strip was a mirage. Odin, king of the strip, ghost on the charts. On the Sunset Strip, Odin weren't just a band, they were an event. Lines snaked around the block at Gazzari's. Their chaos was immortalized in the iconic documentary The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2. But here's the cruel twist. While they ruled 10 blocks of Hollywood pavement, outside those neon lights, nobody knew their name. The record deal never came, and the buzz stayed bottled up on Sunset Boulevard. The Strip could make you a king of Friday night, and a ghost everywhere else. That's 4 bands down, each with a story more brutal than the last. But the next chapter of this list, it's where the machine gets even crueler. From MTV darlings who burned bright and fizzled, to thrash pioneers polished into silence, to masked phantoms who vanished into legend. Before we move on, what's the harshest way to disappear? A freak accident? Endless label delays? Or chasing a scene that moves faster than you can keep up? Drop your take in the comments, because the debate is half the fun. Black and Blue, MTV darlings, industry orphans. Black and Blue looked engineered for 80s stardom. Big hooks, bigger hair, slick videos in heavy rotation on MTV. With Don Dokken producing, the breakout seemed certain. But airplay doesn't guarantee staying power. Their songs never cracked the charts, and MTV hype couldn't save them from the rising tide of heavier, grittier bands. Their polish was perfect, their timing was fatal. Laaz Rockit, the thrash pioneers who lost their edge. Straight from the Bay Area, Laaz Rockit embodied thrash's street-level fire. Their debut, City's Gonna Burn, was pure adrenaline. But as pressure from Enigma Records mounted, their raw spark was polished into something safer. And just like that, the fire was gone. They forged thrash and fire, only to watch it smother under compromise. If Laaz Rockit lost their edge, the next band lost something deeper, the very soul that made them dangerous. The Playn Jayn vanished in the mix. In the London clubs of the early 80s, Playn Jayn were chaos incarnate. Their shows felt like rituals, perfectly captured on a live record that had fans buzzing. But when their studio album Five Good Evils dropped, the wildness was gone. Glossy production stripped away every ounce of their edge. Fans didn't even recognize the band they once loved. One bad record erased their magic, leaving only echoes. Sometimes it's not failure that kills a band. It's the ticking clock, when your sound belongs to yesterday. Fifth Angel, the right band at the wrong time. Fifth Angel should have been massive, melodic power metal, soaring choruses, precision tighter than Queensryche. Their albums were built for arenas, but timing is everything. Just as they were hitting their stride, grunge rolled in like a storm. Sleek, melodic power metal had no place in the new era. The cruel tide embraced them, proof that even the right band can land in the wrong decade. TKO, a hard rock engine out of gas. Seattle's TKO had grit, raw, sleazy, hard rock with the muscle to compete with the era's heavy hitters. Their promise was real, but in this business, label support is oxygen. And when the oxygen ran out, so did TKO's momentum. Promotion dried up, tours fizzled, visibility shrank. Vocalist Mark Tornillo would eventually find new life fronting Accept, but for TKO, the fire sputtered out when the machine abandoned them. But where TKO faded quietly, the next band wrapped themselves in mystery, silver masks and haunting song that made them legends in shadow. Crimson Glory, the masked phantoms of metal. Crimson Glory never chased the mainstream. With their silver masks and haunting, progressive sounds, they carved a place in metal's underground mythology. Their first two albums are still whispered about like sacred text. But the doors of MTV and mainstream radio stayed shut. They had no hit singles, no big push, just a cult of loyal fans. When their enigmatic singer Midnight passed in 2009, any chance of revival died with him. Crimson Glory never vanished in shame. They vanished in legend. And as tragic as these stories are, they're nothing compared to what happens when a band actually reaches the top and then implodes spectacularly. But that's a story for another day. If the 80s proved anything, it's this: talent alone doesn't guarantee survival. Timing, luck, and the brutal machinery of the industry mattered just as much. Each of these bands came inches from glory, only to collapse just before the finish line. So tell me, what's the cruelest killer of a career? Which of these bands deserved a second chance? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because we've got a lot more history waiting in the vault.